Hello again. We've all heard a lot in the news recently about a settlement made in a class action suit with NAR, the National Association of Realtors. At first, when I saw these stories on the news, I just shook my head and wondered how they continue to get away with telling only part of the story. But I really shouldn't be surprised. It happens all the time. Then my phone started to ring. People were getting conflicting stories and wanted to get my opinion on the matter, and I'm happy to give it. One gentleman actually suggested that I might want to cover this topic in a video. So here I am. There was a class action suit against NAR. More than one, actually. Central issue of these lawsuits is that the plaintiffs charge that the real estate industry colluded on commission rates and are therefore breaking antitrust laws. They allege that this collusion was manifested by the publication in the multiple listing service of the commission that the listing brokers were offering to pay to the buyer's brokers. Again, in the local news, I heard that buyer's agents would no longer be getting paid, that commissions could actually go away, and that commissions to sell your home could go as low as zero. As a result of the lawsuit, NAR agreed to the following. 1, to prohibit offers to compensate the buyer's agent on multiple listing services, the MLS. And 2, to require buyer's agents to enter written agreements with all clients, outlining their fees and services before moving forward with any work. Well, I've been selling real estate for a long time, over 40 years in fact, and I can tell you that commissions have always been negotiable. There's no set commission or standard commission. It is always a result of a negotiation between the parties. And in Pennsylvania, the result of that negotiation has to be memorialized in the form of a written agreement. Whether it's a listing agreement, a buyer agency agreement, a broker's fee agreement for non-listed properties, and others. Real estate agents are licensed by the state. So each state may do things a little different as far as the paperwork and the protocols. In Pennsylvania, we already use buyer agency agreements outlining fees and services. So we already have that covered. And those fees and services are the result of a negotiation, as I said earlier. So can a buyer now represent themselves without the benefit of their own agent? Of course, they always could. But should a buyer feel comfortable and confident that they can get the best deal for themselves by themselves? I don't think so. Years ago, I used to do my own taxes. I still might be able to do my own taxes. But aside from the time investment, I don't have the assurance that I'm up to date on all the changes in the tax code. I may think I'm doing a good job and never know that I could have done a much better job, or that I made a big mistake somewhere. That's why I hire a CPA to take care of doing my taxes for me. There's an old saying, the attorney who represents himself has a fool for a client. I think the takeaway from the NAR suits is that maybe things can be a little more transparent for the parties involved in the transaction. After all, this is the largest single investment in most people's lives, and it should be as open and above board as possible. If you have questions and want to talk about it, feel free to give me a call at 267-566-4718. I'm not an expert and I'm not an attorney, but I'll be happy to share my opinions with you. Thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of your day.